is the
Hey,
mission.
what's going on, gang? It's Murata Music with 3-Piece TCG, big Pirates TCG, and 2D. I'm coming at you with that RP and the EB. I'm talking about the Monkey D. Luffy, of course, bars. Now, this is backed by popular demand, and the emphasis is on demand. Okay, Carissa ism ain't playing, High Sports TV ain't playing, Homeland ain't playing, Noel ain't playing, Patochi ain't playing. They want some RP Luffy. There's too many to mention. The kids want the lists. Okay, the kids want the games, and you came to the right spot. It's going to be another feature-length film. Okay, feature-length film. All right, so strap in, strap on. Yeah, do that. Whatever you do with your seatbelt, right? It was the seatbelt I was talking about. Before we get into it, let's cover the silly business, right? We got where can you find this leader? You can find it here, K Design. Find it. You scroll it. Follow the link in the description and use 3-Piece TCG to get 25% off your entire order. All right, they got the whole shebang. They got the boobie smoker. Also, the memberships are live, ladies and gentle hams. Come join the 3-Piece Navy, okay? Do be smashing the finger popping, putting on that pressure. Or big city hooping, get the whole shebang, and you'll be the reason a firefighter learns to read. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys keep this boat afloat, and man, this one's for you. It always is, right? Okay, so enough of the silly business. We're getting into we're getting further down the line. If you guys missed the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, do look it up in the whatchamacallits. But our list was looking like this, right? We were entertaining the Zoro package. I'm not just talking about his memories this time. We were entertaining this, and it was putting on some pressure, right? And we did like it. But this kid really shined, right? This Sanji really shined, right? And we started to say, you know what? We're getting confident. We're confident in our RP hockey. And our RP Luffy hockey, we're getting confident. So take a look at these events, right? You know, take a look at this, take a look around, okay? And booyaka. We changed it, right? So no more events. I know. I'm the guy who did it, right? I'm the guy who used to run events over Zoro because of the, Dofi matchup, etc. We got rid of the events. We got rid of, and what it did was it made space for more bigs, right? Because a brick is a brick. A brick is a brick. If you can't use it, you actually can't even lose it unless you use Gum Gum Giant. But anyways, the bricks weren't doing anything for us, right? And outside of the Doflamingo package, which, you guys already know, I'm, the Plofi guy, right? We're not able to get rid of them and draw 2 cards with the Rosinante, right? So the bricks were serving no purpose for us. However, Zoro is always a counter, right? So we decided to do it like this, okay? And we decided to keep the Sanjis, the choppers, right? And we brought the Shanks back in. And the thing is that there's very interesting interactions, okay? It is a lot easier. You guys heard me talking about in the last video. It's a lot easier to keep I was complaining about how hard it is to keep Rosinante. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. This card, if you keep this card alive and then you play out Shanks, you still have 2 Dawn active after you play out Shanks. That's great. However, it only costs 5. Plenty of cards deal with 5s. And it's only 6k body. Plenty of cards deal with a 6k body, right? Enter uses Captain Kidd. Now, Kidd into Shanks was the OG. If I have this established and I play this out, I'm fucking Golden Pony Boy. This was the original, right? But it was still a little hard to land because of black being so prevalent, and regardless of you going up against Oluchi and then being able to do all the kinds of things, it was the card. What's his name? Did we already forget? It was Ice Age. Ice Age in particular brought this card down to a 2, and then it just was gone after that, right? So Ice Age in particular was the reason why this card was hard to land, why this was hard to land, right? But if you got it going, man, it's hard to deal with, right? And then, of course, the Enel card of Rygo. Rygo was a B word to deal with, right? And the reason why I'm bringing up all these cards is because I've told you guys, I told Carissaism, I told another commenter, I think I was talking about Hot Sports TV, you know, we were going back, sending novels to each other. And I was saying that I've been exploring my older tech because now that Gecko's gone, now that Ice Age is gone, now that Rygo is gone, you know, the landscape has changed. And these bigs are harder to deal with than they were before, right? Herbivore. Bars. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, so yeah, that's what we chose to do. And we're having a lot of fun with it, okay? So what we're looking for, you know, here comes the in-depth analysis, you know, brace yourselves. Turn one, first off, this is a big mulligan dick, right? We like to go first. We don't mind going first. First is great. We don't mind going second either, but we like going first, okay? If we go first, we like to mulligan for that Zoro Joro, okay? We like to see that Zoro Joro. We will settle out of court for a hard mulligan for it. But if you don't see it, and you see a Nami, and you see a Nami that's a Sanji, and you see a Sanji that's a Chop, no, don't forget about that. But if you see these two cards, you're all right. Why are you all right? Because Nami can possibly search into a Zoro Joro. Then you also have the next draw, so you get to see 6 more cards between your first turn and your next turn, right? So that helps that helps with the chances. And then in the chances that you don't, you get to play out a Sanji, right? And that Sanji's gonna put on that pressure, and then hopefully draw into a Bond Clay. And then, you know, on your 5 Dawn turn, you go to 6 because you got a Bond Clay established, and then from 6 to 8 or blah, blah, blah. But even if you don't, you can still play Kid on your 7 Dawn turn, and it just takes off from there, right? Once we get to 7 Dawn up, that's when we start playing Kid, and we get a lot harder to hit. Or we start playing Beckman, and we start removing threats, and we're a lot harder to hit because the majority of leaders, with the exception of ours and Whitebeard, are 5K leaders. So again, we get harder to hit because we've also removed their development, right? Then when we get into the later game, we are looking to have had the Kid established, and then from that we can start swinging, and then we can, you know, if we get the 10 Dawn and we have Kid on the board, it's money, right? We know that we're going to play out Shanks. We're going to either clean up the board or go for the game, and or go for life, I should say. Then we swing with Kid. After we play out Shanks, we -1, we get 1 back, and now we got Shanks on the board +1 for a Gum Gum Giant, right? Great. Chopper, there are times where we play out Chopper to have a blocker. There are times where we keep Chopper in our hand just to have that 2K, you know? Dragon is great, just a great 8 Dawn play. Another option to rush, right? Sometimes it can catch him off guard. We love it. Monk of the Loof. Believe it or not, I love it as a finisher, but I feel like it's been played more as a mid-rangey kind of harassment, you know what I mean? Harassment, if you will. And I do think it's a flex spot. Obviously, I'm only running 2 of it, so it is inherently going to be a flex spot. The Luffy and the Dragon. The Monkey D's are the flexes. Then of course, Bond Clay. If we go in second, we want a hard mulligan for Bond Clay. If we wind up with no Bond Clay, but we have 4 Dawn, we can still play out Zoro Joro. There is a greater chance of Zoro Joro not making it because their next turn is going to have, 5 Dawn to get rid of Zoro Joro. So, you know what I'm saying? But if we keep them on board and we swing, you know, if these things happen, we're pretty good. There are cases where, and I say this because you gotta understand when you're money. You gotta understand when you're in the green, when you're really big city hooping, right? If you get to play Zoro Joro on going first, turn 2, okay, and that means the next turn you are at 5 Dawn, right? You load 2 Dawn up to Zoro Joro, you swing 6, okay? Then you go back to 4, okay? You play out Bond Clay, you go from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and you get to load 1 Dawn here and swing 7. So you get to swing 6, 7, and you've gone from 5 to 7. Next turn you're at 9. Gang, that is when your final form RP Luffy. Like, you have to draw terrible for the rest of the game to lose after that. So that is a high roll situation. Recognize your high roll situations, right? And the great thing about this list is that, as you can see, there's so many less events. For example, we would have normally had this many of that. We would have had at least, some of these, like literally I had 3 in that other one, right? And this doesn't do anything for us, and this actually takes away from these bigs, right? So now we don't have these cards here, right? We have bigs in their place. Bigs in their place. Bigs in the place. Bigs in a blanket. And so once we get to where we're going, we're going to have access to a suite of, bombs that we're able to just continue to drop, okay? So, yeah, that's something to be considered. We're able to put Monka de Luffy back in, and I mean, it really will win you games. It really will win you games. It's situational, of course, but it's a great card to see. 9-drop Luffy is hashtag amazing. If you're at 10 drawn, if you're at 10 Dawn and you drop him, you -1, you go back 1, right? And now you've established a 10k body, plus you've got 2 Dawn sexually active for your Gum Gum Giants, Rad Beams, etc., right? Usohachi, best card in the game, or best 2k in the game, I should say. Captain Kid, I kind of already touched on. Now, there are times, real quick, that like, if you're at 8 Dawn, right? If you're at 8 Dawn and you play Kid, there is a school of thought, and I can't argue with it. It is objective truth that if you're at 8 Dawn and you play Kid and you don't minus a Dawn, right? Guess what? If you have a Shanks in your hand, you're at 8 Dawn, you play Kid, you have 1 Dawn active still, right? You don't use Kid's ability, you stay at 6k, and then guess what? You make it through that round. The next turn, you're able to play Shanks out, okay? And play Kid, and use his ability, then use your leader's ability, have 1 active, okay? Sometimes you're not able to do that for one reason or another, be it you're feeling too much nagging. We don't give them that pressure, right? You're not feeling safe. You're not feeling safe. You really feel like you need to go up 1. Well, I feel like with this deck list, we kind of solved that, because we have more access. We have access to more counter, right? We do have some bricks. We do have bricks, but we have access to more counter. And, I feel like we're able to kind of do our little thug dizzle a little more frequently. Anyhow, so that's just something to think about, something to be cognizant of. If you have the Shanks in your hand and you think you can make it, do so. Do so. Don't lose Kid's ability. You'll be fine. Possibly. Like I said, Usohachi best. We put 2 Rad Beams in here because Rad Beam is searchable by Nami, okay? And when we have 2 less life, it gives us plus 4k. This card was banned, then restricted. Yeah, it's a very crazy card. It was one of the Squid. I just read that. It's one of the premier counters for so long in the game, right? So that's why we're rocking with it. We've got 6 1-for-4 counters in this list. Amazing. Now, Gum Gum Mulgun, we're keeping around because it is bust ass the card, as I've said before. It helps us get rid of, not only does it help us swing into what's his name? Walk It Out. But and also gets rid of the Rosinante. Of course, you got to make sure that you've gotten rid of their Tashigi. They don't have the Tashigi set up, right? But anyhow, that's what Beckman's for. Oh, we didn't even talk. I'll get to him. So Mulgun, it does that, but it also gets rid of the Sanji Pudding. For everybody talking like, what's his name? GP Luffy's gonna be like the one. Hey, dude, more power to you. I don't want to take away your enthusiasm. I don't want to yuck your yum. I did find it to be a lot more oppressive and a lot more impressive when, a month ago, 2 months ago. Not so much now. Sorry. Anyhow, the Mulligan gets rid of this card. As long as you got this out, pretty much anything out. As long as you got any of these cards out. Hell, you can swing and mimic this card. Mimic a card and then use your Mulligan and get rid of this. You see what I'm saying? So like, actually, yeah, no, you can. For this turn, yeah, you could literally, if this card's out there and you got Bond Clay out, you could literally swing, mimic that, and now this is your only body, and it's still a 7K body. Use Mulligan, you get him out of here. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's why we have it here. And sometimes the trigger pops off for us as well. So it's not we're not living and dying by it. I'm running 2 of it still instead of Gamma Knife because it's searchable, right? So that's why we're rocking with that. Gum Gum Giant is just the best card, best event in the game. If you see it often, you know, you're very rarely choosing something over Gum Gum Giant in your searches. Circling back real quick to Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman is the cheese, the slice that you want to have. We're running 3 of them because by 7 Dawn, you know, we've got 6 cards to choose from, right? More if you count anything under it. But yeah, Beckman gets rid of the Cavendish, gets rid of the Carrot, gets rid of this card. You know, it gets rid of anything that's 6. I would like to run some Otamas to attempt to, you know, widen its range, right? But that would have to get rid of the choppers. The chopper is a searchable 2K and sometimes does come up big for us. There are times where we also have chopper out, we throw 2 Dawn on it and we get rid of something, right? So I mean, like, you know, anyways, but yeah, Beckman is just a great card to have and can carry you in certain matches. So anyways, that's the dick list. I hope you appreciate and are not mad about the in-depth anal isses. Let's get into some meshes, shall we? Yes. Right, so you know, the new hotness has got to be addressed. Morning voice, the new hotness has got to be addressed. We actually skip over some bigs in favor of some more counter. Okay, so you know, we're gonna live with it. I think a 9-drop could have been in order. I think we had enough on there so that a 9-drop could have been in order. But Salavi, okay. They get that Joro, so they're gonna be ready to play that on curb next turn. We're gonna swing that 6 into 5, take that 4 life leader down to 3. I said take that 4 life leader down to, damn, okay, they give it to us. Okay, so we're gonna put out Sanji. Now Sanji is such a great card in this deck. I'm sure I've already gave tonsils to it earlier, but you know, being able to 1, cosplay as Nami, 2, put on that pressure, and 3, draw us a card. Yes, please. Okay, so we swing that 6 into 5, take that 4 life leader. I'm doing the bear motion. They still give it to us. God bless. Take the 4 life leader down to 3. All right, and take that 1 more. Okay, they're giving us 2Ks. They're giving us 2Ks. I think that's 3 2Ks they've given us already. So we are poisoning ourselves for the attack, for that finish, right? Because if they're giving us all these 2Ks now, give them Sanji. If they're giving us all those 2Ks now, that means, you know, when they start Gum Gianting, they ain't gonna have nothing left for your boy, all right? Now we're definitely keeping this alive, not even a question. Uso Hachi, and they're gonna have to take another round of big city swings. Not the biggest of city, but some big city. Now check this out, gang. The biggest blunder, the biggest oh my god you can have with this leader, with this dick, is, oh no, I don't have any ramp, right? We haven't ramped once. Going first, we haven't ramped once. And look at us go. Now, I go ahead and I add on Dawn to our Luffy to swing 3 over, just to make sure they can't block with Chopper, just to make sure they can't utilize their leader's ability. They do have a Sanji pudding out already, so it's not as critical as it would seem, since they will be getting 1 back, right? They swing 6 into 3. Okay, cool. This is where it gets interesting because now we got the mole gun. Now we got to search. You know, we got things we can do, and we can mole gun that Sanji pudding and keep it moving, right? We're gonna grab that giant, no doubt. Gwen Stefani. Okay. Now, if we get rid of the Sanji pudding, cool. We can just big city swing. Now they will have Zoro Joro active, but while Zoro was going to give him one active Dawn, the Sanji pudding was going to give him an active Dawn plus everything else. All right. So right now we're feeling really good. We're still at 3 life. Got him down to 2. Got him down to 3 cards in hand. Swinging 7. Swinging 7. We can go ahead and swing 7 again. Yeah, swing 7 again. We're going to save 1. Okay, we got him down to 1 life. We got him down to 1 life. No ramping. No ramping just right. They reveal Zoro Joro, another one, so that's just a 1K. We're going to go ahead and draw into yet another Gum Gum Giant, right? Okay, so... Okay, we give him that Zoro Joro. It's going to get a little interesting. It's going to get a little interesting. They're going to have a lot of Dawn. A lot of Dawn. Yeah, keep it alive. Keep it alive. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, there's nothing you can do to my board. Hashtag nothing you can do to my board. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to do that. Give them Radical Beam. No. Oh, shit. We almost blundered. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. All right. So we give them 10. They're going to have to give us a Gum Gum Giant. And they do. They give us a Gum Gum Giant. They go down 1 card to get 2 back. Side into Fakey. Yeah, we should be able to make it with that. So we're going to give them 10 again. And this time there. Okay, we got rid of it. We got rid of it. Okay, everything's good. I think we made it out. I think we made it out, gang. I think we made it out. What are they at? Is that 7? So that's 7 Dawn. They could, okay, so they Sanji pudding. They could up, down, left, right, backside into Fakey. Okay, they're just trying to ramp. That's 6 Dawn they're at now. Okay. We would... I don't know about that. I don't know. Oh, no, see, fuck. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. That was... We should have got a little greedy. We should have got a little greedy because if we Gum Gum Gianted the Rad Beam, that would obviously keep it alive and it would have drawn us 2 more cards. Yeah. Okay, so we decide to split it between those 2. Okay, we're just trying to swing 2 over. Okay, they give us, what's that, their 2nd or 3rd Gum Gum Giant? Okay. Okay, I'm still questioning that last play, but going into this last, I said this last, but going into their next attack, we've got all this. Okay. Giving 6 Dawn to Nami was insane, by the way. Absolutely insane. I think I would have rather... Well, they would have Gum Gum Gianted, but either way, they're going to want to finish with their Luffy. It looks, you know, if they wanted to finish with the Luffy, I could have played out, Bon Clay. I think I could have played out Bon Clay and had a big city swing into him. So perhaps that should have been what I did. Okay. Yeah, because now they're at 0 and they don't give a shit about anything. We take that. Okay. Swing an 8. Give him that. We're going to get rid of... okay. Alright. We decided to just go 16. They ain't got it. You already seen 5 Gum Gum Giants. Yowzers. You see another Gum Gum Giant. Okay, you still got to come up with 6. Son of a bitch. Their entire hand. GG. GG. Hey, happens to the best of us, am I right? This one's for everybody I see in comments are like, I really love Ooh, I really love that you show yourself losing. Ooh. Ooh, wee, I really love the losing. This is for you guys. This is for you guys. I go up 8 octaves when you see a content creator lose, and you're just, tasteful lose. Don't worry, we got the run back. Okay, so me losing on the video, that was foreplay, right? We got to choose to go first again. This time we didn't trust in our Nami search. We went ahead and made sure we saw Zoro, which I still think if we would have kept that Luffy alive, we would have been fine. But anyhow, so we're gonna swing 6 into 5 and see what we can get out of them. See if they got all those 2Ks again, which, by the way, that's crazy. They had all those 2Ks, dude. That was a crazy finish. But I'm glad some of you could finish watching somebody lose. That's a real big deal to some people. Anyhow, they've got they're not buffed, right? We can play out a searcher. That's right. Oh, grab that Gum Gum Giant. Okay, we can actually go a little heavy with the swings now and go 7 and 8, right? So that's what we're going to go ahead and choose to do. And we're taking that 4 life leader down to 3. 4 life leader down to... Oh, shit. Okay. Guys, look at these 2Ks. I mean, this is a well-built deck for them to be able to consistently throw that many 2Ks out, see that many to throw, right? They're going to have some swings in us. And I have an inkling that they're going to have a word with our Zoro Joro. Did I just see them discard cards? Anyways, so we're going to give them 2K there. They got to get rid of all the Zoro and Zoro violence, the memories. There can only be one set of memories on the board at a time. And I noticed they're not concerned with Nami. We're talking about the man-maries. Yo, we're going to 9. We're going to 8. We're still swinging 2 over. Captain Kidd, the red-headed stepchild is here. The red-headed step kid is here, okay? They're gonna do Luffy things, backside into fakey things, right? And at this point, you know, the last game was more of an exception, right? It was more of an exceptional, like, well, that can happen sometimes, that kind of game. This game is going to be registered under a lot more of what happens when we play this dick, right? Okay, so we're swinging 8 into 6 because Shanks is out. Everybody's -1. They're giving us a Gum Gum Giant to keep that alive. That's good news bears for us, right? We're going to go ahead and still stay cautious and swing 7 into 6. We might as well get a threat off the board. You know, so we're going to, they're countering out of everything. They're countering out of everything to their credit. We are 7K leader, right? Tony Chopper's back in effect. Well, I guess they're already at so many Dawn. It kind of doesn't matter to them. But I wonder if they would have rather waited to play out that Chopper. Yeah, I wonder if. Yeah, they could have done that. And then, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take there. If we utilize this, we go to 8 and we become that much harder to reach for the rest of the cast. So we do so. Now we're an 8K leader. That means everybody's got to attach some Dawn if they want to swing. Okay, so here's the thing about that. If we were to take that, then we can't Ben Beckman. And Ben Beckman is going to get rid of that finisher Luffy. Yeah. And we could no, we can't Mulgun. Wait, actually, no, we can. We actually could Mulgun if we wanted to. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Because we could play Beckman out. Then we could swing with Captain Kidd. Then we could -1 Dawn, bring a Dawn back, blah, blah, blah. It looks like we're favoring, instead of developing based on the current state of affairs, we're favoring the Mulgun, the searching, the everything around, and keeping Beckman as a 1K counter in our hands, right? So now we're going to go ahead and swing 9 into 6. Hashtag I know you ain't got it. And they give us a Gum Gum Giant. This is all great. This is all very indicative of somebody running out, right? They're running out of options. They're giving everything it takes to keep these options alive. And you're seeing these are my first two matches with this list. You know what I'm saying? This is my first two matches with this list. So I'm also simultaneously learning and getting a feel for what I'm really looking for. You know, everything from mulligan to everything, right? So now we feel much better dropping that Beckman. We get rid of their last threat. We still got 3 Dawn active. I mean, yo, it can't get any gooder for us, right? We still get to ramp. Now we get to swing 2 over again. I'm thinking, do I want to make it 3 over? Do I want to make it 3 over? Sold for 3 over. Sold for 3 over. Another Gum Gum Giant. This has got to be the most Gum Gum Giant in this person in the world. Okay, like, yo, get the F out. Yo, what the C flow? You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they're also down to 5 Dawn, which I was surprised at the time to see, because I'm like, wait, you're only at 5 Dawn? Oh, I don't need to worry about anything. Oh shit, I could have. You know what I mean? But anyway, so they're at 5 Dawn. They go up to 7. We could actually take this and trick them into swinging everything next turn. We actually choose not to. I would have rather done that. I would have rather done that, because we could have easily Uso-Hachi'd their next play. Oh, they pass it back like that. Yeah. You had 6. You had 18, but will you have 22 this time? The answer is no. I'm ready for the rematch. They disconnect. How unfortunate. You know what I mean? But this is what your winning board is going to typically look like. You know what I'm saying? We don't. You know, I showed you guys the loss because I wanted you guys to see just, you know, how well Green Purple Luffy can play as well. But facts of the matter is, we didn't ramp. We didn't even mulligan to try to ramp. We said, we'll get it with our Nami, and if not, we ain't really that fucking worried about it. I do think in the last game, if we would have kept our Luffy alive, that would have been more trouble for him. We would have drawn in the 2 cards as well. Blah, blah, blah. But anyhow. And we wouldn't have loaded, you know, 6 Dawn up over here. Are you kidding me, right? So, and that was the last game. But this game, pretty straightforward. And we ramped, we did our things, and we saw our Shanks and our Useless Kid. And, you know, we just made it happen. So, just the proof that this isn't as busted, and this older tech is actually coming back in to the swing of things. Let's get into the next match. All right, so this next match is going to definitely be you see the GGs, you see the crazy, you see the LOL for reals. This is going to be in my, the full best of 3 is going to be in my members only, so be looking for that. Great matchup, great display of power on both ends, and you know, it turned into a bit of a sweat session, right? Now, I'm not going to hit you guys with the entire sweat session. I typically save that for people who are really wanting to get to know different matchups. And I also reserve it for, you know, when I feel like I'm facing off against a pilot that really knew what they were doing, right? And, of course, we got enough games against them. All right, so they swung 7 there. We went ahead and took. Now we're going to go ahead and ramp. And 6 into 5. We've already got that 4-life leader down to 3. We get to ramp again. We get to swing 7 now. What's it going to look like? Okay. Handling it well. They got the Shirahoshi in there. Shirahoshi is a blocker, 1K counter. That minus is 4. A bit muddy on what exactly. I mean, I know there's lines of play, but post Gecko ban, it's funny. It's funny to say the least. It's a little strange. So they've got the board, right? They're doing some things, right? We're both 2-2 life, and what did I tell you guys? Once you get 2-2 life and whatnot, I mean, you're the 6K leader and they're not, right? So they've got no Dawn active. They do have 6 cards in hand, and I'm really trying to think about things, right? So I'm gonna swing 7 into 5, try to get rid of that. Okay, I do get rid of it. I'm going to give the 2 here, and I'm going to swing 11 into 7. Do they have 5K encounter? They do not. They do not have 5K encounter. We just cleaned up that board. Yo, they just Ragnaroked us. We are at 10 Dawn, and if they give us, I was going to say, if they gave us a 9K swing, we would definitely be Gum Gum Gianting out of that, right? Now we've got a decision to make. because on one round we can go ahead for the Beckman, get rid of Sanji, go straight into swinging, or we can Captain Kid, we can power up, and we can continue to swing. Well, it looks like we go ahead and go for the Captain Kid, and I say give us a big city swing here. Also, actually, we can swing 7, develop Sanji as well, and then really start to put on some pressure. And it looks like that's exactly what we do. They actually take the life. Okay, cool. This is all data. They get rid of Sanji, give us another chopper, disguise the Sanji. They do the Frankie thing. They gotta keep one up. They skill check us. We ain't falling for it. Now it's time to Beckman that Sanji, okay? The blocker Sanji, because the blocker Sanji gives more value at this point. We're swinging 9 to 5 Dolly Parton style, okay? After this, we're gonna be able to ramp 1, swing 8, and still, oh, we're going for 9? Are we going for 9? Are we feeling, we're going 9 to 5 again. We said we're about to get this guy out of here. Now, what we did was we forced their hand, okay? Because they did not want to go down to 0, okay? Cool. We forced their hand. They did not want to go down to 0. They're back to 10. Unfortunately for us, they're back to 10. We've got one Don up. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and file that under a bit of a misplay. However, they did use a Gum Giant. They did use a Giant. They couldn't even swing at us the first turn, so they had to come into this turn. And we're at 2 life, so we can Rad Beam, but the stakes have just been raised exponentially. Am I right? So, yeah, and, you know, spoiler alert, the last game went just like this too, so very consistent on their end as well. We let them go. We let them go because 4 plus 2 is, you know, wait, what? Oh, because he swung 13. He swung 13. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we could match 13, but we couldn't beat 13. So, again, very smart on our opponent's end. However, if we would have Gum Gianted, you know, we would have kept them alive. But right now, we're just like, okay, let's survive. Let's keep it going. Do they have another Gum Giant? They take it. Okay. I think, yes, let's do this. I feel like I can survive one more round because I have 2 life, okay, and I have counters. They go ahead and just take that one. They weren't interested, and they just went straight for the rematch. Hashtag I feel you, dog. Let's see what would have happened though. They were at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were going 8. They could have did some swings. They could have swung 7 twice here. Of course, I would have got out of that. They could have put 2 cards back in my hand. This is all if they're going for game, right? They could have done some things. We would have still won. And I guess they realized that. They said, fuck this, I'm going straight to rematch. But the next one is absolutely a doozy. The first one was absolutely a doozy. So, doobies, lookings for that in the members only sweat session number what the F, you know, don't worry, I'll have it lined up. But yes, let's get into the next one. Okay, all right, so we are going after that we are going to a Blackbeard. Now this was our opening hand. They chose to go second, and I was like, you know, I would much rather, you know, see a Zoro. We don't see a Zoro. We do see a Sanji. And you know, maybe here at, you know, in the 3-piece Navy, we've been playing Red Purple Luffy so long that I feel like I don't think I'm just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking for others as well, dare I say. You know, we've played it so much, we got so many reps in, that we can imagine a game where we don't ramp and we still win, right? We don't ramp and we still win. Like, these things happen, but it's no reason to, you know, flip the table, right? It's no reason to scoop. We are used to digging ourselves out of holes. You know, I was making fun of the, you know, and I understand, you know, people, there are content creators that make it look like they've never lost a game in their life, right? And the deck is impervious. And I used to be watching that back in the Legends of Runeterra days, and I'd be like, yo, like, did you win often with this list? Because this list sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a gimmick. It's such a meme. You know, it's before I understood all these things. And so, anyways, I understand, saying all that to say, I understand when people are like, wow, thank you for showing how you lose. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But what I feel like is just as important, for one, how does your, in the tier list of importance, how does your list run when everything works out, right? What are we trying to see? What are we trying to do, you know? And this guy keeps thinking they're going to skill check me. It's not going to happen. But anyways, and so I build the decks so that they run consistently. And that should show, right? And that tends to show. And so I tend to show you exactly how we want things to go, how we want to operate, right? Well, then you have leaders like Red, Purple, Luffy that are inherently not as consistent because they work around a ramp and we don't always get the ramp, right? So in this case, the value for me, the value wouldn't be found in, oh, losing, right? Because we can all lose and it's very easy to not be able to ramp and lose. For me, the value is found in, you didn't ramp, now show me how you can still win. Show me how you can still make it competitive, right? So you got to see that with the Green, Purple, Luffy, where we didn't get to ramp. Hey, yo, we get to draw a card. We didn't get to ramp. However, we still played it out. And we still made it more than competitive. And if they didn't have a horseshoe in their ass, we would have won. You know what I mean? We would have gotten it. And then, of course, we go on to take it anyways. The rematch. And convincingly enough, maybe for them to not, run it back. I don't know. So we're at 7 Dawn here. Okay. Still no ramp. But we do know if we can play this out, we play out Captain Kidd at 7, right? The thing about playing out Kidd on 7 is that, the next turn we go to 9, we go to 10, we can shanks. We can still do some things now. With shanks, because we've already used our ability, we would not be able to have that 1 Dawn active. However, everybody will be lower. You know what I'm saying? So, hang on. Is that Psycho Krishna? Let me not get started. But yeah. So that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. You know what I mean? All right. So we got 7 swing at our ass. I could see us using a Uso Hachi. Just because I don't see them allowing us to do any on-play abilities for the rest of the game with them having 7 cards in hand. Now, we will be busting that ass. Please believe it. But they're getting a Bosco shot ready. Beautiful thing about having a 6K leader. Teach likes to use all of their Dawn, which means if you can swing, you can swing. If you can't, you can't, kind of deal. We're going to go up to 10. And I think it's time to drop that shanks. Okay, we've got 2 life. Okay, we're gonna go to 7. Okay, we've got 2 and 3 encounter. You know what I'm saying? So cool. Now we're swinging at that, which is crazy. We're saying, we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of the threats. We're gonna go ahead and just get rid of the threats. Now they went from 5 to 7 right there. So we're like, all right. Cool, whatevs. Now we're gonna swing 12 into 7. I don't think you got that. Okay, we got their Jesus Burger off. We also have a blocker. I'm forgetting to mention. We also have established a blocker. This is looking great. No ramp, no problem. Teach used to be very hard for our Luffy to overcome, but it's looking pretty damn good right now. Now they do. Man, that's crazy. When they're able to drop a Jesus Burger, a triple meat Jesus Burger, which is the reason why I misspoke. I'll try to say them both at the same time, and a Teach in the same round. Hashtag crazy. Okay, so, but guess what? We got another shanks. Another one. All right. We're going to swing 8 into 5. Our hand is not jive because it's well into the game. They take. Okay. Teach is at 11K, which means when our shanks, man, that was a pivotal KO. But anyways, now they got to have the cards. because when our shank swings, they're gonna have to be able to defend their teach. They're gonna have to have a 2K. They ain't got. Well, they do have it. They do have it, but they ain't got nothing outside of that. And what was our life? Yeah, we had that in life. We had plenty of this, plenty of that. Shanks is the end all be all to this matchup for sure, for certain. Persephone. I mean, there you have it. No ramp, no problem. Our leader will ramp no matter what, right? Our leader is going to ramp no matter what. So I know I've always told you guys that you don't want to drop down to 2 life too early, because you want them to have to work for it a little bit, right? You want them to have to turn these sideways, and then you go down to 2 life, you know, because what you're setting yourself up for is when they were to drop, if they were to drop another teach, they could big swing here. They could, you know, if you're down to 1 life, they just big swing here, and they big swing here, and they already got another teach, and you're chill, right? They're good to go. And on a conventional leader that isn't a 6K, they could swing, big swing, and take you out, right? So that's that. But I just feel like, you know, no ramp, no problem kind of deal. We still were able to see it. And that's because Teach is a deck that likes to get into the deep water and drown you, right? But we can swim. This Luffy can swim. Okay, we find ourselves against a shanks. Now, they chose to go second. Okay, so they want to see their big shanks on curb. I see this hand. I say, yo, keep. We're keeping. Grab the Gum Giant. Oh, my God, could it be any better? Now, look. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I haven't done that in a long time. This leader has always been somewhat of a good matchup for us. As a matter of fact, no. When it first came out, Red Purple Luffy, you're supposed to beat Shanks. You're supposed to beat Shanks with Red Purple Luffy. It's not unwinnable for Shanks. I feel like Shanks has got the most 50-50 matchups in the game. And then, of course, if you have a well-experienced pilot, flying Shanks, then they're really big city hooping, right? Anyhow, but look, we got the search out of Gum Giant. We got the play Zoro Joro. I'm feeling great. Okay, they got the Lucky Roo on Dick. All right, no problem. I'm gonna swing 6 and a 5. What are you gonna do? And what I'm going to do personally, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm playing this out, and now I'm gonna swing 7. Okay, this is what they don't want, right? But I'm also giving them that choice. Are you going to get rid of Bon Clay, which I do not need to stay on? I do not need Bon Clay to stay on. Or are you going to get rid of Zoro Joro? They choose to get rid of Bon Clay. Great for me. Because now what that tells me is they're going to swing here. They're going to swing into that Zoro Joro, and we're going to have another round of breathe. Perfect. Okay, perfect. The only thing that would have been a tad difficult would have been if they were to play out a rush character, which they didn't. So now we're going to get to swing 9 into 6, which means even when they minus us 1, they still got to give me 2 cards. They go ahead and take. All right, cool. It was a decorative hero ability. Now, we've got them down. I'm not going to lie. We would love to see another big. We would love to see a 9K, a 9 cost Luffy, a big city Shanks. You know, we would love to see these things because we've already ramped out. We've out-ramped them. We've overgrown them. And next turn, they are going to be playing their own Shanks. I can almost guarantee it. You got 8 cards in your hand. Yeah, you got a Shanks. Okay, so they go for Dragon. This is also a great play. They're going to skill check us first. I think that was a mistake. I think that was an actual mistake because if they did not do that, we go ahead and take there. If they did that, we're going to swing into it. We can swing into it. And I'm wondering, is that what they were hoping we would do instead of going for face, right? I don't know. We'll see. So they gave us all that counter. Okay. And when you give me all that counter, it makes me feel like, okay, now you can't counter out of the other stuff, right? So I'm going to swing 7 and a 5. And if you don't got 7 and a 5, you don't got, you know, 2 2Ks plus 1, right? So we opted to, we were going to go straight for straight for life, and we opted for board. Now they played a big city Shanks, a big Papa Shanks, okay? I love it when you call me Big Papa Shanks. And they still got 3 life, so they're feeling good. We're going to swing 10 into 5. They can minus us 1, but they didn't have the Dawn to save them last time. They don't have it this time. We swing 12. They ain't got it. Now what do they got? They have an 11K swing, but we do have counter. We do have counter. We got a Rad Beam that will take us to 4. We got a Gum Gum Giant to take us to an additional 4. Draws 2 cards, and then a 2K Usohachi. So actually, our Shanks is literally safe. Do you guys see that? This is what I'm talking about. Shanks is never out of options. Shanks is never out of options. The Otama into the Hongo Jerry into the Divine Departure, and they divinely depart. Shanks has divinely departed. Like, get the French toast out of town. My immediate option is let's block, and we're playing out our big Luffy. Nothing else to do. Nothing else to do at this point. Very grateful to have opened with them in our opening hand. We're swinging 7. Do they got it? Unfortunately, they can also use their leader ability once per turn. So that means this turn and the next turn. That's what I was saying to you guys. I feel like it needs to be until the start of your next turn. You can use it once until the start of your next turn. That's how I feel like these cards should read. Sue me. Okay, so I decide to just load. Do I load all of them up? No, we load that much up. Yeah, because we're already at 10. We load them all up. We load them all up. Yeah. Okay, so we load them all up because you can go down to 9, but you still have to have 2. You gotta have to give me all of your hand. You don't give me all your hand, I'm swinging 12. Cool. I still had 2 life. I mean, peep game. I still had 2 life, right? This ain't gonna do nothing to me. Or excuse me, this will hit. This ain't gonna do nothing. This will hit. So you can take me down to 0 life, but then we one-shot you, right? You can try to develop and swing into here, and then you can swing into here. But then you want a Lucky Roo. I've got this to go. And you get what I'm saying? So they were either going to try and remove threats, and it was going to cost them their hand, or something. But we were going to have it either way. So it allowed us to be greedy and go for the game. I just feel like great showing. You know what I mean? It's just the power of what we can do. We didn't even drop any Bond Clays. We didn't drop any, yeah, excuse me, Bond Clays. We didn't drop any Beckmans, is what I meant to say. We didn't even get into the turf war, but it was mainly just a ramp to Shanks, use Shanks. You even got to see what happens when they get rid of Shanks. If they didn't get rid of Shanks, that would have been flat out over. That would have been flat out over. Let's go next one. All right, this is actually right after the last match. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we are going up against a boobie smoker. All right, now we had this opening hand. We said, you know what? We're going second. Let's try and find some ramp. And we do. And we do. And what a hand. What a hand we roll into. Now, 8 to 5 or 8 to 6, your hand is shit. 8 to 6, your hand is sick. 7 to 5, taking that 4 life leader down to 3. Okay, so they're at 5 Dawn. This is typically where they play their boobie smoker. They don't have a boobie smoker for us. If they had that boobie smoker, though, oh man, Bond Clay was going to get some value out of that ass, okay? They instead play out their Sanji, and they're going to go ahead and put 2 active. Yes, yes, yes. Come swing 7. Do we have it? We ain't even got it. So it's a great hand, but it's a great late game hand, right? It's not what it's not exactly what we're looking for right meow. So I'm going to swing 7 there. We take that 4 life leader down to 2. They are at 7 Dawn. It is getting extremely interesting on the board right now because we are a 7K leader. However, wow, that actually does put us just above everything. That actually does. So what they could do is horny ass Jones at 7 and then use leader's ability, and then they could give some to Sanji or give some to themselves and then swing into us. And you know, one of them would have been tough kind of deal. Skill checking was not the answer here. They must have forgot. We can give them, I would say give them the Sanji, not the Nami. I would say the Sanji, not the Nami. Right? No, we give them the Nami. I'll tell you why we give them the Nami. Because we're about to ramp and our math is off. Our math is off either way. Is it because we're not looking to play kid? Perhaps we're not looking to play kid. So we got a 7K blocker out there, which we're going to use against them. We love it. Oh, we love it. I don't know if we've used our leader's ability already. Did we? We did. Okay, so we already used our leader's ability. Looks like we're at 9. We know that Tashigi's ability is going to cock block us, so we got to get rid of Tashigi. We're going to swing 8 into 5. Okay. And swing 7 into 5. We're hoping that they don't have a horny ass Jones. If they do, well, shit, that's why it would have been a good reason to play Cad. Yo, they horny Jones our ass. They turned that sideways. I don't understand that. I don't understand that whatsoever. I don't understand that whatsoever. Okay, so we take there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I even gave him that grace. I'm not going to use any Dawn. I gave him that grace. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. That was a little disappointing at the end for them to not turn the Dawn sideways. But again, how many games has it been? I know I was throwing a fit on the last video that we create the situation and they don't want to drop out the kid, right? I'm starting to learn that green isn't as busted broken as it would seem. It is once they get going. It's like, I don't know if you guys have remembered me complaining in the past that, like, I feel like when I do XYZ play, right, that I saw my cards, I should win the game, right? Tough luck. I'm sorry. It sucks to play against me, but I Magellaned you 3 times. I should win automatically, right? Well, the same way I was complaining about that, that's what's happening for green. Green sees their cards and they tell you thanks for playing. There's almost no way to overcome it, right? Now, if they don't see their cards, they get waxed, right? But at this juncture, right, they've got Captain Kidd, but no blockers, so they don't play it. They don't try to turtle up. And even if they did try to turtle up, yo, we were going to be going into Shanks, and that was going to be bad news bears for that ass. So, anyways, let's keep it. Actually, that would have been weird. That would have been a weird interaction. Oh, no. This isn't Bonney. I was going to say, wait, that would have been weird because if I would have played Shanks, then I could. No. Nobody would have got turned sideways. Matter of fact, let's see if we got a Bonney. Okay, it looks like we actually do have a Bonney. Thank God I hit record. You can tell I forgot. Okay, so I chose to go first. Definitely want to take away the going first line of play, right? Okay, so I Nami, and I'm thinking I'm going to grab that Rad Beam, right? Yeah, we grabbed that Rad Beam. Okay, we've got it looks like we didn't mulligan. I don't know, dude. I hashtag don't know. Hashtag do not donut know. So we're going to swing 6 into 5. Our hand is not Jive. We're playing out Sanji, and we're going to see what they got for us. Okay, so they established a killer early on. That's fine. We need to convince them to use that card, use that blocker, and they're going to swing 8 into us. We're going to take. Now we've got a prime time chance to ramp, right? And we love this. We love this because when we do things like this, it's the sadistic choice, right? So now we're going to swing 7. Are you going to turn Bon Clay sideways, or are you going to turn my leader sideways? Bon Clay may do something depending on what you play next turn. My leader will swing 7 into that ass. You see what I'm saying? It's a sadistic choice. We're putting on that mental pressure, okay? They decided to take. They turned Bon Clay sideways. We love it. We're not really counting on Bon Clay swings. I'll be honest with you. In this deck, we're not counting on Bon Clay to do big things other than ramp us. Bon Clay's done enough for us, gang. Bon Clay has done enough. They got rid of the new EBO2 jewelry, Bonney. Yeah, they got rid of that one, so. Do you guys love how I cover my cough when I'm in my own house in a room that nobody goes but me? Consideration. They swing their killer. Cool. I don't care. They service a dish of the cabin variety. Oh yeah, they got rid of that card as well. Okay, now we can ramp. And as much as I would love to play out the dragon, I'm definitely considering the Beckman. Beckman's going to get rid of Cavendish so that when they go into 8 Dawn, that's all they can do, right? So we're going to swing 8 into 5. Our hand is not Jive. And let's see what they got for us. See if they got another fucking event. Another 2-2K. They don't. Okay, cool. We're gonna swing 2 into 2. We like that. We like that. That's great. They didn't turn Nami sideways for some reason. But you know what? Stranger things have happened IRL, right? So we take those. Now we've established that. Now if they want to play out a kid, they can't do anything with it. They can't do anything with it. They can turn it sideways, but it will not be the blocker kid, the walk it out. It will not be that. Walk it out. Walk it out. It will not be that. So we got him in an interesting predicament, right? The only thing we got to worry about here is that, you know, I'm very happy to play my Shanks or my Monkey Dragon. I'm very happy to play these cards out. However, damn, we get hit with the 2-piece? With the 2-piece? At 8 Dawn, you can play both of those and then still stand 1 Dawn up. Hang on. That's 2. That's 3. So you got 13 Dawn worth of value from 8 Dawn. That's a 5 Dawn difference. Fut the wuck. Okay. So we're in the same position, right? Do we want to big city swings? Do we want to get rid of? What do we want to do? We're swinging 7. We're going to see what they want with that. They didn't even get rid of anything. We go straight to the killer. Okay, so we swing here. Now we're just #worried about them. Yeah. Okay, we're worried about them playing Shanks. They play Shanks. Never mind. Perhaps it was a poor choice because now I got to deal with all these swings, right? So we take. Okay, so we take there because we're concerned about the smoker swing. That's what that is. That's what that is. Now, I highly doubt they're going to want to try to climb over Beckman, and it looks like they're not. Oh, they do. Well, we got that. We got something for that. It sucks because we would love to turn. Yeah. I was about to say, hang on to that. Hang on to that there. Okay, so they got no Dawn active. They got 1 Dawn active. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we find ourselves in the position of the year. Okay, this is the to be or not to be. Okay, you always run into this with Bonney. It's so fucking annoying. It's just the math problem that nobody wants to solve. That's all it is. That's all it is, right? So we got Big Shanks, but if we play Big Shanks, that's it, right? We got Monkey the Dragon, but if we play Monkey the Dragon, yeah, fun game. If we play Dragon, then we only have 2 Dawn active, and if they play a Homeboy, we are out of here. And by that Homeboy, I mean Horny Jones. So I'm thinking, let's swing 7. Let's see what they want to do with that. They turn our leader sideways, okay? And what can we do after this? Am I right? So are they going to take it? Are they going to give us killer? They counter out. Why not? Okay? At this point, I'm saying let's do some Beckman. Let's get rid of that Cavendish. And we will have 3 Dawn active. They've only got 3 cards in their hand. They're going to have a horny-ass Jones to attempt to go for game. If they do not finish us with that horny-ass Jones, then we win, right? Because if we can hold on to Usohachi. Actually, no, we would win because there's no way they got that much counter in hand. But anyways, I don't know. Let's see what happens here. This is getting interesting. They play Cavendish instead for a whopping total of 3 Dawn. And they... Who am I to think you cannot play 12 Dawn worth of cards at 10 and then get 1 back? Who am I? Worst case scenario. I was just gonna say, worst case scenario, they play Horny Jones. We got to defend. Even worster case scenario, they play Cavendish and Horny Jones. Fuck the wuck. Okay, so they're going 11-7. That actually helps me out. That actually helps me out. They're really concerned about the back clap, the slap back, do we keep him alive? Well, here's the thing. Wait, did they not turn anything sideways? That is so annoying if they didn't. Oh, they turned one Don sideways and one character sideways. One Don sideways. What am I? Got speech? I can't talk now. They turned one Don and one character sideways. They wanted to clear the board. They want to clinch the game out the old-fashioned way. Okay, so here's the thing about that. I can let them go, actually. I can let them go. I don't let them go. I don't let them go, actually. But I was thinking I can let them go. And then I can take these next swings, right? Because they ain't going to do shit to me. Oh, we could take that. We could take that. And then we turn killer sideways and we go for game. Oh, you lost your mind. You lost your whole mind. Yeah. Yeah. Now, that was going to work either way. Either way. I could have let him go, and this is what I'm demonstrating. That was going to work either way. Wow, wow. That was crazy. That was crazy. They did have a Rosinante coming up. Now, here's a game where, you know, we're just y'all saw at the beginning, it's piggybacking off of the last game, and it's been doing that, right? We've just been boom, 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 which is great. I mean, this is consistency. This is the win streak. You know, whatever you guys look forward to. Establish a to validate, right? Whatever you need to get it across. But anyways, we've been boom, 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 and no kid here, right? No kid played here. However, it was a tough time to play kid on 8 anyways, and they did do a pretty spectacular play. But we're able to do the damn thing. It really didn't even come down to the Giants, really. We just kind of did our thing. Anyways, great game. And we showed that we could have let Beckman go. We really could have let Beckman go and just played this out and this, that, and the third. I remember. This is why we didn't let Beckman go. This is why we didn't let Beckman go. You ready? Okay. So right here, as it stands, what I was worried about was if they were to, because I don't believe they used their leader's ability or their smoker's ability yet. And I was concerned that they were going to use their smoker's ability to go up 2 Dawn and establish another blocker. If they were to establish another blocker, we could be in some sort of trouble. So that's what I was trying to prevent. You dig? So that if they were to establish a blocker, we could swing 9 and whatever and keep it moving. That's what it was. That's what it was. But anyhow, great game. And I've definitely played against this person before. They're a great player. Let's keep it moving. All right, gang. I know we're going into overtime over here, but you know I got some red purple Luffy enthusiasts, like I said in the deck profile. When Charissaism says, "Hey, I need some more red purple Luffy," yo, we gotta give them that scoop. We gotta give another scoop. We gotta keep the scoops piling up. All right. So we're going up against Smoker, and I wanted to seek out a match against Smoker because Smoker is one of those dicks. We've been keeping our rectal thermometer firmly against the sphincter, waiting on that temp, because I do feel like that Smoker is in one of the better places as a black leader. And I don't mean like Blackbeard. Blackbeard is its literal own thing, right? Blackbeard is not like a... Blackbeard could have been neon magenta, or Blackbeard could have been anything, right? Anyways, Smoker's in a good place, and EBO too, in my opinion. So let's keep it moving. They chose to go first, and we didn't keep that Zoro opening hand because we were mulliganing for a Bond Clay, and we got it, so we're happy, right? Now, what is they gonna do? Okay, so they pass it right back to us. We pass it right back to them, and we're just You know, when they're doing like the squats warming up, that's what we're both doing right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Swing 7 into 5. We've got to ramp to 5 now, so we are on odds. Going to 7 next turn. After that 9, and it's gonna be Big Shanks time, right? So they're gonna swing. They get them all the way down. Actually, they get them all the way down with the Marineford, and they're gonna swing 7. Get rid of that. Yeah. We could stay healthy. I don't see us needing that so much. And we can stay healthy. I don't see us needing that so much. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're at 7. We don't have a play, unfortunately. But what we can do is swing there. Now, it looks like we're going to just keep our chopper as a 2K in this matchup. Reason being is we're not getting over things like that. Now, it would have been dope if we could have had something established to mulligan that ass. Enter the Sanji. We get to mulligan that ass, okay? So, and I go to 10. I'm going to swing 8. There's kind of no reason to feint like I want to use a Gum Gum Giant, but we're doing that to get in their head for them to think that they have intel on us. Now, do we have a Gum Gum Giant? Yes, we in fact have a Gum Gum Giant. But anyhow, they're going to go ahead and do the simple jack sideways. Jack off our Sanji. Jack off our Nami with Sanji in her body. Yo. Swing 7. We're going to give him that 2K. No biggie. So now we're at 10. Now, I remember this. So we swing 6 into 5. We get a 2K. Okay. And for whatever reason, I'm thinking, let me monk it a drag and go for the jack. Okay, so I'm at 11. Now I'm at 13. You're going to need 5K to get over that, right? But if I was Shanks and I did the same thing, would I not have been in the same place, right? If they get and the other thing is that Dragon is a little easier to get rid of, 2 points easier to get rid of than Shanks. So you know, wow, yeah. So let's see. And that Marineford. Okay, so they got it down to 8. They got it down to 0 now. Yeah, they just bring back, what's his name? Oh, wait, what? They draw Kuzan from trash. Okay. They oof. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was woman. I was wondering what they were going for. Can't use voice input, whatever. Okay, so they minus there, and then they use Tashigi. They forgot they had the stage available. Okay, so if they went, they took them down and they took them down to 8. They did 8. Sorry, so they did minus 8. Would they have even been able to get rid of the Shanks? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else. Well, they used all their Dawn, so I would say no would be the answer. Anyways, we're gonna swing 6 into 3. And we have a Shanks out there, and they did use quite the amount of resources to get rid of an 8 call. So maybe I was accidentally genius, right? Here comes Kuzan. And that's definitely going to assist them and what they're trying to do. Perhaps it would have behooved me to just go for game, right? Who knows? But what you're seeing right here is exactly why this leader is trouble, right? This Navy package is great. It's crazy to think how it didn't do as well. It felt like a really honest deck for a long time. We're gonna play out a second Shanks, and we're just going for it. You didn't want to put nothing sideways. That's fine. We're gonna go after that ass. Okay. So we've got 2 Shanks on the board. We've got 20 Dawn worth of cards on our board to 9 and 10. Okay, so we got twice the development. Well, they technically got 11. But anyways, nobody can swing. Actually, only 2. Actually, nobody can fucking swing. Nobody can swing without investment. So they've got to solve these 2 problems. They've got to solve for 2 pies. 2 pies. And it looks like they're going for 1. Okay, so we've got that. We've got that. And then a Kuzan swing should do it. The leader. Okay. And the Tashigi needs it to be at 0, not 1. So when they do that leader thing, that ain't gonna work. Their Kuzan is gonna have to come up. They're gonna have to give us the Kuzan. Oh, they Tashigi. Okay. Now they're at 7. Okay. They get rid of them with the Tashigi. Swing 7 into our ass. Right here, I don't need to hold on to that right now. And that's that. Okay. We can Nami search. Hopefully find us a 9 cost Luffy, which we haven't seen all game. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. And this is just too much math for anybody to do. Too much math for anybody to expect. Yeah. Okay. I can swing into the Tashigi and get rid of that Tashigi and then do the last 2 swings into the leader. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Because that's a -2, that's a -4, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. You know what I mean? It would be too easy. It would be too easy for them. They got to shuffle their hand, right, with that patchwork, which is some tech that we were coming up with, and you know, the only reason we were still holding on the Tempest Kick is because we were regularly putting 10 cards in our trash, and that card draw plus a -3, really great if you can land it. Anyways, so I think I have them. I think I have them because at this point, they're no longer solving. You guys remember when I told you there's problem-solving decks, there's problem-causing decks, there's decks that are in between. This deck is a problem-causing deck. It is safe to say, and it's going up against a problem-solving deck. It's safe to say that we've presented too many problems for them at this juncture, right? So they're going to be able to swing with Kuzan and get a -9. They did that backwards. They fuck up. I think they fucked up. Problem solving decks also take that presence of mind, right? That also takes that. It wouldn't have mattered. We had them either way. Yeah. It wouldn't have mattered because even if they had the Rebecca established, yeah. No. Yeah, that's fine. So it wouldn't have mattered because, damn, we would have had that Luffy. If they would have had him at 4, right, then they should have swung, okay? Then they would have brought him down to whatever the fuck. And then they could have Tashigi'd, right? And they would have got rid of him. Great. Even if you had Rebecca established, though, or left Rebecca on the board, I was going to turn Rebecca sideways and then swing with the rest of this. So they were gone or goner. You know what I mean? It didn't really matter. But yeah, look at us. We're able to get to that deep water and just start dropping these bombs, and it's too much for even the most prolific Navy reducer in the game right now, because they have this Tashigi, they got the Navy package, and they're using Kuzan. So anyhow, with that, I can comfortably say let's get over to the gist of the list. All right, well, there you have it, gang. Yo, this was a great outing with this list. I'm gonna have to really hear back from you guys, because I feel like everything was working out. I didn't feel like there was too many awkward points. I'm kind of trying to think of what would I change, right? What would I change? I think perhaps the Luffy, perhaps my finisher Luffy has kind of run its course. Maybe it's not needed. Maybe we could put anything in its place and kind of see what we get from it, kind of see how we feel about it. I don't know, but I'm liking everything else. Dragon also didn't show up as much, and if we look into what we could possibly be replacing those two with, I'm of course limiting the search to the straw hats. This could be cool too, just whatever. But oh, that would be really nice. That would be really nice. Yeah, that would be nice. That's not that crazy. But anyways, yeah, you know, we could kind of start looking into what we think. Oh, maybe that's Sanji. Maybe that's Sanji. I know that would give me a lot of sevens, but yo, Sanji's real. Sanji's real right now. Sanji's real right now. Right nil. Real right nil. We could also gum Gatling. We could also do some Gatlings. And then of course, if we remove the Straw Hat restraint, you know, could we be looking at Newgate instead of Dragon? Could we, or instead of the Luffy? You know what I'm saying? Is there, you know what I mean? Just that's what I would be interested in, and you know, kind of messing with is what else could we do with those spots, right? Aang would bust people's ass. Aang would bust that ass. But what else could we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. This Shanks would be crazy. Shanks would be nuts. You know, we'd definitely have to have kids. Maybe we would go up on kids. I don't know. You don't want to go. No, we're not gonna say that. Rayleigh would be great. Maybe Rayleigh. Maybe it's Rayleigh. You know, people always fuck with Goldie Roger. You know, it's a hype card. Super hype finishes. But yeah, not that. We can't do nothing with that. Yeah. Anyhow, that's gonna do it for this one though, gang. You know, we've been having a lot of fun developing this list, and I'm happy to say that I was able to figure something out outside of the Plofy, you know, the Don Quixote package, which was looking like this right here. Red hair Plofy? Oh, this was the one with the Shanks. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? We've come a long way, and we've gotten into a, you know, classic RP Luffy, and it's working. It's working well right now. So a lot of fun, much more consistent than I thought it would be. And yeah, you know, so do smash that like button, finger pop that subscribe, turn on the bell, go down in the comments, let me know what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, what would you be doing differently, okay? Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah, I really want to hear what you guys think about this list. What do you think about that, the flex spot, you know what I'm saying? And because I do think we need to keep the threats live and around, that way we can continue to hit them, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyways, outside of that, this has been Murado Music with 3-piece TCG, big old beer pirates TCG, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. UC bars. I'm stuck in the game, fucking it up with the gang, for the love of the money and fame. I can tell I never could change. I said I'm stuck in the game.